Hello everybody. Hello and welcome to the VoiceOver Network presents a complete guide to getting started in voiceovers. Week number 4. Very excited and wonderful to have you all joining. I can see you're all logging in now, which is fantastic. And lots of you are watching this on record. So if you're watching this on record, hello. And if you're watching it live, hello. How are you all doing? Please feel free to use the chat box to make it nice and interactive. And again, those of you that are watching the recording, you are welcome to send me an email. Hello. Fantastic. Good stuff. Yeah, I hope you're all well and you had a lovely weekend, wherever you are in the world. It's week 4. It's the final week. It's the final leg of this incredible journey that you are on to getting started in voiceovers. And we've got a good week for you, and I've got an amazing hour for you. So I hope you've got a notebook and a pen, and you're ready to take lots of notes. You will get the recording of this as well, so you can always watch it back. But this is my favorite week, I have to say. This is the fun one. This is where we get down to the nitty gritty, which is what you all want to know. Where do we get the work? But before we move on to that, I'm just going to do a little overview of what we have covered, because there's a fair amount. And please do use the hashtag VON Workshop, VON Workshop, if you want to tweet or Instagram away about this course. So yes, right. So week 1 we did, which seems way back when, was week 1, when we did an overview of the industry. I talked about voice reels. I talked about how and where to get a great voice reel, and the importance of a great voice reel. I talked about agents and the differences between agents in the UK, the US, what they expect, all that kind of stuff. And I also talked about the different areas of the voiceover industry. So I hope you have taken that on board. I know I asked you all to watch TV ads, to listen to radio ads, to play video games. Tough work, huh? Do your research into listen to audiobooks and looking at all the different areas within the voiceover industry to see where you think you would like to go. And it can change, but it's just good to have a focus, somewhere to kind of point your shit towards. You want to take everything in, but it's like, if you can say, right, okay, video games that's where I'm going to head. I'm not going to say no to everything else, but and stuff like corporate narration, things like that are great, and telephone on hold, like that's the work that's going to pay the bills, that's going to pay your mortgage. Things like video games and stuff is like the cherry on the cake. So yeah, so that's what we talked about.
We also talked about USP or UPS.
UPS, your USP, your unique selling point, which is really important to think about that. So I hope you all went away and had a think, and I know I got you all to write down your goals as well of what you wanted to get out of this course. So we'll go over that later. Then in week 2, we talked about your voice and performance, and the importance of looking after your voice, protecting it, also doing warm-ups. So have you guys been doing your warm-ups? Anyone been doing their warm-ups? Yes. So important to do your vocal warm-ups, and to have fun with it and play with it. And you don't have to do like a huge amount, but just a little bit of breathing, a little bit of tongue twisters, get your resonance going. And if you do that every day, you're going to increase your range, which is fantastic. And what else did we talk about? We talked about direction. I talked about taking direction, how to interpret directors, what they're trying to say to you, which can be really tricky, especially when they say, I want it fluffy but hard, I want it fast but slow, I want it energetic but sleepy. Or one of my favorites is, I remember this, being in the booth, the guy was like, and he was Italian. He's, yes, I like very much the same but different.
That's a good
okay. I was like, okay, thanks. Same but different. Like, different how? I don't know. So you just have to. So a lot of the time, when you're being directed, you just have to roll with it and listen to your intuition, listen to your gut, go with your instinct. It's really, really important, because That is what makes you unique. And generally your instinct will be right. Unless you really decided you want to do, your instinct says Scottish, but the director says Welsh. I don't know. Anyway, so yes. So taking direction, acting, how all voiceovers is acting. And it's really, really important to get a base of acting skills. Looking after your voice, which I've already said. So yes, so that was week 2. That was a lot of fun. And then week 3, Blur, that was last week, which was all about home studios, which is really important and a wonderful way to be able to, have a business from home, work around it, work with clients all around the world. It doesn't mean that you don't go into studios in town, in London or in New York or in LA or wherever you're based. Doesn't mean that at all. It just means that you have the flexibility to be able to have a voiceover business from home and have your own clients. So we talked about wonderful. You had Roger last week, didn't you?
Yes. Oh, he was great. Roger shares so much, and he gave so many great tips and ways and things to look at. Broke everything down with the equipment that you need. He had his slides where he showed some of the things that are really good, middle of the road, and not so good, which was nice. So that was good. He covered equipments, editing programs, recording and editing, studio booths. He has and featured a lot of different types and styles, so everybody can kind of see what everyone else is doing, which was kind of nice. And then connection, so IPDTL and that. So yep.
So there was a lot. So you guys have there's been a lot to take in over the last 3 weeks. Some of it's going to stick, some of it won't. And so, you've got all the information you can go back to. You should have your notes and things, and you've got the recordings, so you can always rewatch them. We have got more coming up, so don't worry. We're not just going to leave you on Friday and just, that's it, you're off. We do have more workshops coming up, and we also have the voiceover network. So we would love you to come. If you haven't joined already, we'd love you to come and get involved and be part of the network. It is something, if you're just starting out, you can do this course, and then at the end of this course you can join the voiceover network and come and there's so many amazing things. You get loads of resources, loads of webinars, an amazing community that basically are always there to help you. So there's always somebody to help, and Roger Woods is one of them in the Facebook group. So with any questions, whether it's about rates or agents or websites or voice reels, so all of that, so exciting. And you get discounts as well, amazing discounts on like Focusrite and Rode, and so it's all good. Wonderful. Right, so actually before we crack on with this week, which is how to actually get the work, has anyone got any questions? Anybody, please speak now or forever hold your peace, or you can ask me later. But does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask? I just drink some water.
Just trying to see about week 3 if there was anything that I was trying to get back to everybody with, but I think we got it all covered.
Oh, my computer just did something very strange. You disappeared from there. I don't know, I think I pressed something on my, anyway. Now it's back. Fantastic. Phew. So,
now we're good.
This week, it is all about how to get the work, which is very, very exciting. Now, when I came into the industry many, many moons ago, 17 years ago, it was the case that you went and you got your voice reel done, which I did. And then you sent your voice reel out in little CDs to get a voiceover agent, which I struggled with. But in the end, I did get. So back then, you didn't have a home studio. You went into studios in London. My voice is really going.
Take your time. And the video got a little choppy, but I think it's catching up to you now. So let's.
Oh, my video?
Yeah, let's see what's happening.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah.
If I take that out, that might help. I had my phone plugged in.
Okay.
So yes, so you didn't have a home studio and you got a voice reel done. Oh my gosh, my voice is really going. That's really odd.
Like quickly.
That's really weird.
Do you have enough water?
That's very strange. Sorry, guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It happens.
I've been rushing around today. Okay. Diaphragm, people. Diaphragm. Okay, so yeah, but then you had to have an agent. You had to have an agent, and that's how you got work. And then over the years, it's changed. So the technology has become cheaper and easier to set up a home studio, so that you have been able to find work yourself. And using social media and the internet, we've been able to find our own clients and build our own client lists, which has been incredible. But the problem has been that we're performers, and a lot of us are actors, and that's really kind of, we got into the industry because we wanted to perform, we wanted to act, and that so often happens with small business owners. They become a painter and a decorator because that's what they enjoy doing, or they become an artist or a singer, or and so the business side of it is not really what they wanted to do or what their expertise are in. But that is the key. So for me, when I had successes as a voiceover artist, and I had a fantastic time, and then I would have these times where my phone would stop ringing, my emails would stop, and I would go really quiet, and then it would pick up again, and then it would go quiet. And it's the feast and famine, which is a really tough part of the industry. So I wanted to get my head around the feast and famine, and realized that yes, when I get in front of the microphone, when I get in the studio, I can do it. I can perform. That's not a problem. It's the getting in front of the producer. It's getting into the studio. That was the bit that I was struggling with, and I realized it was because I didn't understand marketing and being a business owner, and marketing is so important. Now, I know there are some of you that are watching this now and you're going, oh, I don't want to market. I just want to stand in the booth and I just want to do my thing. Okay, I know. But what you need to do, and the best thing to do, is to start enjoying marketing and realize how much fun it can be. You don't have to be, you don't have to have a degree in marketing. That's not, you don't have to go and like study marketing courses, but you do need to appreciate it and find areas of marketing that you enjoy. So whether it is social media is such a great marketing tool that we all have. Whether it is going to networking events, if you love going to networking events, that's fantastic. That is marketing. If it's picking up the phone and talking to people, yes, some of you I know are going to be like, I hate doing that. But you know what? It's amazing. If you just pick up the phone, once you've done it a couple of times, you realize actually the people on the end of the phone really want your voice. I know some of you are going to be thinking, yeah, but I'm just new to this. No one's going to want to hire me. You're wrong. People will, especially local people to you. There are lots of local studios around you who would love to get you in. And we all want to help each other, actually. It's in our head that we think that things are much harder than they are. And the exciting thing is that there is now more voiceover work than there has ever been. Ever. There's tons of voiceover work. When you think that every single company in the world now needs a professional telephone voice. Yeah, that's a lot. They need professional website videos. Yeah, that's something you can do. They need videos, sales presentation videos. There are, I mean, how many podcasts they need? There are all sorts of podcast intros that you can do. DJ drops. That's every single online station, radio station, TV station. They all need voiceover artists. It's just everywhere.
Explainer videos,
e-learning videos, audiobooks. Just the audiobooks industry alone is absolutely huge. And if you're interested in doing audiobooks, I think I said this in week 1, there's work for you. I mean, there's work for you guys in any area of the voiceover industry. Yeah. How exciting is that? So it's now, the thing about it all is that I know it seems pretty daunting at the moment, but it's there for the taking. It is there for the taking. What separates people who never get off the ground and those who are smashing it in the industry? There's something quite simple. It's quite simple. The ones who aren't doing anything, wait till they're ready. If you wait until you're ready, or wait until you feel ready, you will never do anything. That is just the worst thing to do. Do not wait. People who are smashing it, just get on with it. Get on with it. Get out there. Start, contacting people and asking for work. You can learn a lot on the job. Obviously, we've got training courses here at the VoiceOver Network. You just got to get out there and just start doing it. Practice in your studio. Yes, absolutely. And I hope you've all been doing that, getting your scripts. I know you all sent your recordings in. Lots of you have had feedback already. I know there's a couple of you that are still waiting for feedback from me, so I will get that done tomorrow. Sorry, there's a couple that I still haven't done, so I will get that done tomorrow. And thank you for sending those all in. But that's what you can be doing all the time. You can just go, get your home studio set up, or even just with your phone, just get recording, practicing, and then just get out there and start contacting people. Set up your website. So I mean, there's lots of things. For a minute, I've got to keep an eye on time because I do have a lot to say. So how to get yourself noticed. How to get yourself noticed in the voiceover world is, as I said, just to get started. I think social media is a fantastic place to start, because that's a great place to watch, listen, connect. So you get on Twitter and you go and you follow lots of voiceover professionals, voiceover artists. Follow members of the VoiceOver Network who are all awesome, and see what's going on. Find voice reel providers. Find people who are casting directors in voiceovers. People like Mark Estale. People like Jessica Jeffries. People like Dave Peacock, who casts animation. These people are they're on Twitter. They're on Instagram's another one.
We've got the Facebook group that we have with the attendees here.
Yes, and we've got our Facebook. So go into the Facebook group and introduce yourselves and share your social media handles, please, today. That's something I want you all to do. So in the Facebook group that we've got, please go in and share your handles so that we can all connect on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and help each other, because you guys, we're all in it together. And then obviously there's the VoiceOver Network Facebook group, which is amazing and is incredibly supportive. And you'll be amazed at the connections that you will make just in the Facebook group, the friendships that are created. The VoiceOver Network is, and I've said this, it's all about helping, supporting and strengthening the voiceover industry. That's something that's been cultivated over 4 years, and it really, it's amazing. It's like no other organization. The members really want to help each other, and it's not about I'm going to help you so you're going to help me. We've cultivated this, help people without expecting anything in return, which is just beautiful. And so that really goes on a lot. So if you've got, if you need help with anything, or if you're feeling that, there's always going to be people there to help you. So and we're here, me and Lisa are here as well. So so you want to make sure you get a website. Super important. Even if you don't have a voice reel yet, even if you haven't done a voiceover job yet, that's absolutely fine. Get a website up and running ASAP. You can get them done really cheaply and easily. You can get a Wix one. You can just get a one-page website. You just need to have your name, a photo. If you've got your voice reel, you've got to have your voice reel on there, and a little bit of information about you just to get started. If you have got experience, and you can have multiple pages, or maybe you've already got a website. Fantastic. If you've got a website, then awesome. But if you haven't got a website, so you want to buy a domain name, please don't use a free one. It needs to be, you can buy them for like £10 or $15 or whatever. Buy your domain name. When it comes to websites, I know that the question that comes up a lot is, should I have a separate voiceover one to an acting one? Because those of you that are actors, on screen and theatre actors, well, we're all actors. So you shouldn't have them separate. You should combine them, because you're a voice actor. You're an actor. It should be together. They complement each other. Yeah. So have a page of your acting website that's about voiceovers, but definitely have it together.
And your domain name should probably be your name.
Yeah. I mean, you can do, Joe Blogs voiceover if you want, but short is better than longer, and something without tricky spelling. I always have a pain because people will spell my name wrong. Rachael, they spell it Rachael. Really annoying.
You think that's bad? Mine's bad.
Oh yeah, yours is. Yeah. I know. What is it with our strange spellings of our names? Anyway, but yes, if you can keep yours simple, have your domain name, and get your email address as well. You want a professional email address, not at Gmail, not at Hotmail, not at Yahoo. It needs to be at your domain name, because it just looks so much more professional. So going forward, you need to project that you are professional, that you're taking this seriously, that this is not just a game. This is not just, you're not just mucking about this. If this is what you want to do, you need to start now and show that you are dedicated, you're professional, and you are willing to make this work. Okay. So yes, on your website, as I said, photo, a little bit about you, your voice reels, your social media handles. If you've got any testimonials, or if you've worked with any clients, you want to put a list of them and how to contact you. That's it to start with. Going forward, then you can have more pages, multiple pages. You could do pictures. You can do videos of any voiceover jobs that you've done, which brings me on to, whenever you do a voiceover job, always try to get a recording. Just always say, could I get a copy of the final recording? For one, it's nice to see. It's really nice to see. I'm forever sending things off, and then I never see and I always ask, and you don't see the final product. You might not get it. So you should ask for every single job that you do. You should always ask, could I get a copy of the final? And if you go into a studio, get the name of the sound engineer, because the producer is going to be too busy. You want the sound engineer. Just give them your card. Say, have you got a card? Would you be able to send me? Because they're more likely to send it to you. So when you go into a studio, connect with the sound engineer, ask them for their card, and see if they'll send you the finished. And also check that you're okay to use it on your website. Just ask. And the other thing to do when you're in a studio is just to ask if you're allowed to talk about it on social media before you put it on social media. Just because, people can get in trouble for putting things out. I didn't get in trouble for this, but I did have a funny thing once, which thinking back, could have got in trouble. I didn't realize, it was fairly early days of social media as well, fairly early days of Twitter. And I went into a studio and did a documentary about Twilight. This was still the Twilight days, the film, the books that were made into films, and it was still around, Twilight. Oh my gosh, this is a few years ago. And I came out of the studio and I was walking down Soho, and I was like, oh, cool, I'm just going to tweet about this. And I tweeted, I've just recorded a documentary about Twilight, and it just went nuts. I was trending. I was getting contacted by, hundreds of people who were like, what's going on? What's going on with what's happening here? What's happening there? Da, da, da. Kristen and Bob Patterson.
I can't remember either. Chris.
Oh gosh, my brain has gone blank. Thingy Patterson, Kirsten Stewart, and have I forgotten his name? Anyway, but yeah, so it was just quite funny. But yeah, thinking back, I could have got in trouble for that. So just always ask. It's always a good thing to say. Can I talk about this on social media? And then if you can, fantastic. Go and brag to the world that you've just done something really cool. Wonderful. So how to get noticed. And when it comes to social media, couple of how are we doing for time? Yeah. Okay. Couple of do's and don'ts. Do be genuine. Be authentic, and be kind. Don't get involved in nasty things that happen on social media. There's plenty of it. Leave the negativity and just walk away. You'll see people, getting very excited about political things, and there are people do troll, and that's a horrible, horrible thing. Don't ever get involved in it. And yes, just be nice, because the whole thing, nobody really knows what's going on in other people's lives. Nobody knows what's going on behind closed doors. So it's really important just to be nice, just to be kind. Even if people are being vile, just ignore them and just go and hang out with people that are being nice. So that's really important. And surround yourself with people who inspire you. There we go. And you can do that using social media. So so that's really exciting. I think that's fair amount.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so social media, and so Twitter, get a Twitter handle. You should get on Instagram, because Instagram is super cool and a great way for your branding. You should have a LinkedIn profile. Definitely have a LinkedIn profile. Why? Because LinkedIn is where your employers are hanging out. Because that's where they're at. So that's important with LinkedIn. So you should have a LinkedIn profile. And Facebook. I nearly forgot Facebook. Yeah. You've got your Facebook profile, and you can join groups. So join lots of Facebook groups about voiceovers. And when you become a member of the VoiceOver Network, you can come join ours, which is just the best. You don't need to join any others, actually, to be honest. But anyway, so that's all good. Okay, creating your brand. So you hear lots of people talking about branding, and it can be a little bit confusing. We are voiceover artists. We are not multi-million-pound corporations. You don't need to go and spend a huge amount of money on your branding, okay, to start with. If later on you decide you want to, but to start with, it's not about going and having an amazing brand. It's about being truthful to who you are. Now, branding is just you, basically. Your voice, what we do as voiceover artists is we are communicators, and you're using your voice and your personality to interpret text, interpret copy. So that's a big part of it, is your personality that you use your personality to communicate. Even whether it is, video games, audiobooks, whatever it is, you're using your voice. And people want to work with people they know, like, and trust. So the best thing to do with branding is to use the things that you like and that are authentic to you, that make you unique. And we talked about this in week 1 a bit as well, your unique selling points. So it's good to sit down and think, okay, what do you love? What do you enjoy doing? What are your hobbies? What are things that excite you? What colors do you like? What do you like as a particular animal? Is it, are you really, I remember one of these, we had somebody who was on the marketing workshop, actually. Someone said that they love cats, and they absolutely adore their cat. And I was like, brilliant. Okay. So you could do your branding around cats. And actually that's something that if you really enjoy, then that would work with you posting pictures on Instagram about cats and talking about cats. and you don't have to be completely obsessed about cats and talk about them all the time, but you can just do a little bit of cats here and a little bit of cats there. I mean, I know there's a voiceover agency called Voiceover London. So London, Voiceover London, yes. And they obviously have something, they've got a thing about lions. But I remember it because I see that they post stuff on Twitter about lions. I think it's wait a minute. London Voiceovers or Voiceover London. Jordan's the guy there. But yeah, so I remember that. And it's interesting how many people you will remember if they sort of pick something. So it's like, okay, Scott Parkin, he's into surfing because he puts lots of stuff about surfing. And that's something that he's passionate about and he enjoys sharing videos and talking about. And that makes him unique because he's Scott Parkin, surfer guy. Yeah, what else? I'm trying to think of other people that have got really strong branding. Diane Perry is a great one. If you look at Diane Perry's website, she's got wonderful branding because she's all about animation. So she actually did spend a fair amount on getting her branding done, but it's just a good example. And she's been quite fun with it and quite cheeky. But it's about, yeah, so, you know,
Stefan's maybe.
Stefan Cornicard as well, lovely Stefan. So Diane Perry and Stefan Cornicard are both teachers for the Voiceover Network, and they and Stefan, yeah, his is Voice of Chocolate. I mean, you listen to his voice, you're like, yeah, Voice of Chocolate. And he's very clever. He's got business cards that he sprays with the scent of chocolate, and when he gives them to people, they go, "Oh, chocolate! Oh, wow!" I know, it's genius, actually.
And the bottom corner has a little bite out of it.
That's very cute. It's very, very clever. So you can have fun with your branding, all this stuff, and it can change as well. So don't feel like you're stuck with it. My original branding, when I started voiceovers, was yellow, which is quite funny because I wanted it to be, because back then it was CD cases and they were sort of on a shelf and I wanted mine to stand out. And then I changed things, and I remember for a while I had a black website with a glitter ball and everything was pink, bright pink. But that for me at the time I was all about, you know, glitter ball and parties and sparkles, and it was all very sparkly. And then I've changed it. I changed it again, and it's much more sort of, in my current branding is yellow again. But much more, toned down, and I've got some red and orange in there as well. So it's about being authentic and sharing a bit of you and sharing a bit of your journey. You know, people would be fascinated if you talk about voiceovers on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Talk about your journey. Talk about, you know, people will be fascinated and they will get in contact. You'll be amazed. I have had work through Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn and Instagram. So there we go.
But
wonderful.
Rachel, I have nothing to say.
You do have stuff to say. I know that's the thing. People always think, I don't have anything to say. I'm not interesting. You are interesting. We are all so interesting. You don't have to think of something interesting to say. You can just talk to people as well. That's the other thing. You can communicate with people. So you can go on Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn and stuff and just talk to people, retweet their stuff, communicate with them, like their tweets, interact, answer their questions, and just talk to people. Start a conversation. What's your favorite, you know, whatever. If you're into plants, what's your favorite plant? And just have fun. And so social media is something that you can kind of do a little bit of every day. And it's, so, yes, there we go. So marketing, bum, 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 that big word that's scary. It's really not. Marketing is fun, it's creative, and it's exciting. Marketing is all it is building relationships. There we go. Done. It's just building relationships. That's all marketing is. So whether it's going to events, going to training events, you know, workshops, going on social media, connecting with people, sending emails, picking up the phone, having a website, that's marketing. That is all sort of bits of marketing. You can do PR, so you can be interviewed on a podcast or a webinar, or start your own podcast. Write an article for a magazine. This is all fun, creative stuff that you can be doing to get work. So in terms of getting work, so there are different places that you can get work, and we'll just run through those. Just keeping an eye on time because I know what I'm like. We have, and I talked about them a bit in week 1, pay-to-play sites, P2P sites. I hate that word. And actually, who is it I was talking to the other day that started to call them casting websites? Casting sites instead of pay-to-play. Yeah. So these are websites where you pay them a fair amount of money to have a profile, and then they send you auditions, and then you audition, but you bid for the jobs, which I don't think is a good idea, because it means that it's just rates are going down. But it can be a good place just to kind of have a look around, maybe get a couple of new clients. But I'm not a big supporter of the way that they behave. A lot of these pay-to-play sites particularly have behaved very badly. There are some nice casting sites out there. Voquent is one of them. Voquent, that's a nice one. I know the owners of that. So they're worth going to. Badalgo is another one. They're less likely to sort of take too much of your money, extra money. Who else is good? I've heard good things about voiceovers.com. So that's a brand new site which has just started up. So that's good to have a look at those. So those are worth having a look into. I've said about getting a website. You must get your website up and running. Use Wix. Use Squarespace. Squarespace. Yeah, Squarespace is another one that's really good. Mm-hmm. Take the time, set up your website. Really, really important. You want to be professional from the start. There is so many people in this industry. It's very competitive. That you just can't just wing it, I'm afraid. You've got to get the website up and running. Agents are a very important part of the industry. We talked about that a bit in week 1 as well, and how you don't have to have an agent. And actually, if you're really starting out, unless you've got a very unique voice or you've got a very unique set of skills, if you're, I don't even know what, if you're Iranian or, something like that, honestly, if you have there aren't many of you in the voiceover world, then great, go and contact some agents. But if you have a similar sound to
our member who does all the accents, so if you have something like that,
yeah. And when it comes to accents, they can't just be like, I can just get away with it for a little bit. They have to be like, you have to really be able to live in those accents, and you have to, as Mark Estelle says, you have to, especially in video games, you have to be able to do that accent and be a spy, and you would have to be able to go to an embassy and get away with. That's the kind of accents, really.
Yeah, that particular accent.
So yes, there are lots of wonderful agents out there. And the best way to contact them is to pick up the phone or send them an email. There we go. And just do your research. Just look up online. Google is your friend. You can find out loads on Google. And just look up, telephone on hold, voiceovers. Done. And there's a whole load of companies, you just call them up. Telephone on hold is actually a very, very good place to start for voiceovers. They tend to be short. They aren't too complicated. And it's just a good fun way to get started. So I would recommend starting out in telephone on hold stuff. There's plenty of work out there, and you get regular clients as well, which is really nice. Networking, which is one of my favorite things. I know lots of people go, oh, networking. Networking is a wonderful way to connect with people. It doesn't have to be in person. But in person is a fantastic way to network. But also social media, your networking, just connecting with people, and it's about helping other people. So it's not always about you. There we go. It's not always about you. It's about other people. It's about helping other people. So and then you want to build your contacts list. You have a huge amount of contacts already, and you want to build that list. How do you build your contacts list? Like any business does, get on Google. Get on Google. You want to find some recording studios. Call them up. Say, I'm a voiceover artist, just getting started. And do you use voiceover artists? Can I send you a sample? Can I come down and meet you if you haven't got a sample already? Just connect. Definitely. Yeah, and then just make sure when you're building a list that you keep detailed lists. So keep details of all the people that you reach out to, that you contact, and that's called a CRM system, a customer relationship management tool. There are lots online that you can use. I can't remember them off the top of my head. Well, there's MailChimp, there's InTouch, there's a bunch that you can pay for or free, or you can just use an Excel spreadsheet. But just make sure you get people's names, their email address, their website, their contact address, and then write down, what you've sent them when. It's so important, because then you can always go back to that. There we go, done. Off you go and get some work then. It's that simple. It's not that simple. I know there's a lot of information I've given you, but you are on the most exciting adventure, and there's lots of wonderful things that are going to come your way. And the wonderful thing about being a voiceover artist is often you just don't know what's coming. You never know. I mean, unless audiobooks is probably a bit more, you kind of know, like I speak to audiobook narrators now, and they've got like booked up until like October. They know the work that they've got coming in, because it's so kind of right, you have to block your time. But when you're doing commercials and promos like me and video games, you never know what's coming from day to day, sometimes from minute to minute. And it's exciting and wonderful. And you can have a week where you think, oh, there's nothing coming in. And then suddenly 5-10 jobs land on your lap and you're like, happy days. So yeah, make sure that in the early days that you treat this like a business. You want to be on top of your accounts. You want to keep tabs on, start now, who you're contacting, when a job comes in, or when someone comes in and you've quoted for them, and then you've got the job, and then when you've invoiced it, and you need to keep tabs of all your invoices, because you need to be registered as self-employed. That is very important. And you just go to, I don't know how you do it in America, but here you just register, you call up HMRC and you register as self-employed. Done. I think I've shared enough information with you guys to make your heads go ba-doing. Mm-hmm. Any questions?
Let's see if something comes in. I was just going to say about social media.
Yes.
You went over the top 4, but with Facebook, when do you know when it's time to that you're going to need a professional page?
So yes, because of course you've got your personal page, so that's your profile page that we all have. I think if you haven't got a Facebook page, what? I know some people don't, but like,
yeah.
And then you can have a Facebook business page, and this is where I have a Rachael Naylor business page, and that's where people opt in to like it, and that's great because you can be much more sort of promoting what you're doing. And also people can find you for work. So I've had work through my Rachael Naylor voiceover page. So it is important to have. I wouldn't say you need to get it set up just yet. I think probably when you start booking work, it's a good thing to set up, because then people will be able to find you. You want people to find you. You want people to find you when they go on Google, which is why you need a website. So when someone types in, voiceover artist Slough, your page will come up. That's what you want. That's why. And so make sure you've got a little bit of information about where you're based as well on your website. Voiceover artist based in yada yada, you know, Mongolia. I don't know, not Mongolia. I don't think any of you are. But maybe it's like Newcastle or Liverpool or London, West London, whereabouts. You don't have to give them. Don't give your address. But yeah, so that you can be found via Google. There we go. Yeah, wonderful. Right. Any other questions? We've got 10 minutes. Wrapping this up.
And maybe even to make your website or yourself easier to find when you Google that. Think about that when you pick your domain name.
Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah,
include
definitely.
VO in it if that's how you're going to want.
Yep, you can.
Or
you can
not.
definitely. Yeah, depending on whether you're going to expand your website, whether it is just going to be voiceover, or maybe you're going to end up, you know, adding acting to it, or you've got an acting, you know. So it's your business. It's your business. It's up to you. When it comes to quoting as well, because I know that's always a big question, it's really important to understand your worth. Now, you are putting money in, you're investing in yourself by doing this course. You're going to invest in your home studio. You're going to invest in voice reels. This is all part of your business. You need to respect your craft and your skill. So it's really, really important. Now, I know starting out, it can be tricky. And yes, you do need experience, but just be careful. Do not give your voice away for free. Make sure, so things like buyouts, you mustn't give people use of your voice, especially in the early days. You can say to them, yes, you can have my voice for a year on, you know, if it's a corporate video or something, but just be, you know, and we're here, and again in the Facebook group. So what normally happens is you'll get paid per hour generally in voiceovers, and it's usually around £200 mark, and then you get buyouts on top, and this depends on where your voice is being used and for how long. And it's important that you put a time limit on that, because if you do, say you do a radio ad for Coca-Cola, and then you only want them to use it for a certain amount of time, because you want to then free yourself up to be able to work for Pepsi. If Pepsi come knocking in a year's time, you don't want to sell yourself out to not ever be able to work for Pepsi. It's the same, you know, so it's the same, you know, like, yeah, any brand. So just be careful. A good thing to do when you get emails from people saying, what's your, you know, how much is it to have a, you know, 1 minute online video voiceover, you know, voiced. And I always think a really good thing to start with is email them back, say, thank you very much for getting in touch. This looks like a really interesting project. Can I just ask a couple of questions? 1, where is it going to be used? 2, how long are you planning to use it for? 3, am I using my home studio, or would you like me to go into a studio of your choice? 4, is someone going to be directing the session? 5, what's your budget? Do you have a specific budget in mind? These can be mixed, and you'll find your own, you know, but what is your budget? That's the best way, because they'll come back and they'll have a budget. Even when they say they don't have a budget, they'll have a budget. They'll have an idea, a ballpark, and so you know where you're sitting in that. As I said, the VoiceOver Network is always here, and when you join, you'll be able to come into the Facebook group and ask people help. We're always here to help you and support you in your fantastic voiceover business going forward. But yeah, I hope that's helpful. I think that's quite a lot of information.
Definitely.
Cool.
Yes.
That is right. So this week, just to run over this week, so you're going to get an email every day again with lots of information, lots more information. Come into the Facebook group, please, Maybe Lisa can share it in the chat now, or what's the Facebook? It's facebook.com and then /
Yep, I'm just looking
complete guide, possibly.
It is, but we've got
complete guide 2019, maybe.
Just trying to get it to.
Or email Lisa at the voiceovernetwork.co.uk if you're not in that group as well, and just come in and introduce yourself. I know we've got quite a nice small group here, so we can all chat. So this week, you're going to get some information about the importance of social media. You are going to get some information about goals and planning. That's, it's really important to have a goal, to think about where you want to head, and also to plan. Oh, Danielle's in, late joining, sorry. No worries, Danielle. You'll be able to watch this back. I've crammed it full of information. So yes, lots and lots of fun marketing talk. And then we'll also be talking this week about who to contact. You're right, Lisa?
Yeah, my screen just did that thing that yours did. I think it went black, and then there was like a weird picture. Anyway. All good. I just dropped in the Facebook group just to make sure everybody gets
in there. But yes, so please go in and share your social media handles. Share your Twitter, your Instagram, LinkedIn as well, and then we can all, share. We can all connect with each other and help each other. So and like each other's stuff and retweet, and fab. It's all good. So mine, I'll put mine in the Facebook group, and Lisa will put hers in too. Yes. So that brings us to an end. That's the end of the voiceover complete guide to getting started in voiceovers week 4 webinar. That's me. Finished, done. No, if you haven't had your feedback from your recordings, your wonderful recordings that you all sent in, you will get that tomorrow. Most of you got that, but those of you that didn't, you'll get that tomorrow. And then you've got the. So we have lots of exciting things coming up. So bear in mind that on Friday, if you haven't joined the VoiceOver Network yet, you will have access and you will be able to join. And we would love you to join. And then we have something exciting happening next week. If you are enjoying the marketing side and you want to learn more, then next week I've joined, loving it. Yay, Danielle! High five, high five. On Monday, I am running a voiceover marketing course. So it's 2 weeks, and it's 3 hours on Monday and 3 hours in 2 weeks' time on Monday. No, I've got it wrong. Lisa's shaking it. I don't know what the dates. So many things going around in my head. But it's 2 Mondays, 3 hours each. You get to come. There's a small group who are all going to be working together, helping each other. I'm going to give you lots and lots of information. You are going to come away with a business plan for your marketing, with tons of information on how to get the work, more than this week. This week is kind of getting started. Monday is taking it to the next level. Send me an email. Yes, Lisa said that. Send me an email. Fantastic. If
There's
you would
the
like
dates.
more. Wonderful. So send Lisa an email if you'd like more information. It starts next Monday. Excellent. And it's, very, very exciting. Wonderful. All right. That's me signing out. Any questions before we go? Email Lisa or me. Email me, Rachael at thevoiceovernetwork.co.uk, and you can always put questions into the Facebook group as well. The hashtag is VON Workshop, VON Workshop. Please do tweet and Instagram and tell people what you thought of the course. We will be running another one again very soon. So it's great to, if you're enjoying it, please put that out there on social media. And we'll like and retweet and share and all that kind of stuff as well, which we've got a lot of followers. So yes, excellent. And Lisa's just put in our Instagram is _voiceover_network. And I am Rachael.Naylor on Instagram. And then our Twitter is NetworkVO. And I am at Rachael Naylor. So good. Excellent. Well, have an amazing rest of the week, everybody. Enjoy the information that you're getting. Enjoy the rest of the course. And I will catch up with you, send you a message on Friday, and hopefully see lots of you next Monday for our Marketing Your Voiceover Business. Wonderful. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much, Lisa.
Thanks, everyone. It was great.
Yay. Thank you. And wonderful. See you guys soon.